Welcome back to the greatest show there ever was with your boy, you know it's Ike. This is behind the beat of my song Nonsense featuring Big Breeze, who probably hasn't even heard it yet, but that's a story for another time. Anyways, this is how I made it. Let's get to it. So the version that came out was very different from the version I originally had. I actually made this song in summer 2021, so more than 2 years before I actually dropped it. I made a version of the song and even got Big Breeze on it, but I did not care for how it sounded. Wasn't really sure what to do with it. I was trying a couple different ideas, but I'll let you hear the original idea first.
You aren't mine, I swear I'll be just fine. Just miss me with that nonsense one more time.
So it was a lot slower. It had the same theme that I was going for, and I used a lot of the original recordings from that, but I did re-record some of the vocals on it. I was trying a couple different ideas with it, but I wasn't really caring for how it sounded, and I wasn't really sure what to do with it. So the song almost didn't even make the project. The week before it was due for submission, I actually logged into Quality Control Studios and made the beat that ended up in the final version within one night. So it was sped up a lot, and then I was working on the song here at my house, and I heard my roommate, Lookaway, shout out my boy Grant. He was working on a song in his room, and I just heard this vocal line that he kept doing over and over and over again. And I'm like, oh my goodness, dude, are you using that? He's like, I'm not really sure. It's just an idea I have right now. And I'm like, please, can I use it for this song? Like, I'd need this. So I'll show you it in a second, but that's how this song came about. And it was very last minute, but I'm grateful that it was able to come together. So the song starts with like a very menacing feel to it, almost like the Jaws line that we know from the movie. So I started with this synth that I kept from the original version. I added another one, more of a pad sound below it. And then I lowered the original synth down an octave. I do a lot of filtering in this song, kind of like I did on the last one. So it filters out as it transitions, adds another key-like synth. I also added a bass line to that. Just a drone note, really, other than the transition, which is just an octave above. Then I have this little chopped riser transition. That builds into the hook, and then the main element of the hook, the vocals I was talking about from my boy Grant, are right here. I pitched them up and added some effects from the original line that he had. So the hook is gone crazy. Beneath those vocals that he did, I have this like wobble bass. I cut out a lot of the low end on that because I have this 808 that's going beneath it for the bass. And then I have this bell-like synth. So that's what's going on melodic wise during the hook. I'll play that together. Along with the melodies, I have this crazy drum pattern going on. I didn't have a kick because the 808 was so heavy. So here's the snare I used. And then I built out this hi-hat pattern, some rolls. Then I built my own snare roll right here that fades in. And then I added this perk. It was like a little Latin feel. I muted one of the notes though, because there's a lot going on, but it still got a little bit of Latin feel. Next, I added some more hi-hat rolls with a different hi-hat sample. And then I added one more perk that has like this little chant sound. Halfway through the hook, that second hi-hat that comes in, I have it going a little crazier, as you can see right here. I have those two hi-hats going back and forth between each ear, so you hear them on the left and right. So here's what the second half of the hook sounds like. Just very epic, cinematic, almost trap-like. I don't know, it's a fusion of stuff, but I was really going for that like Miss Me With That Nonsense, like confident vibe for it. And so then it breaks down a little bit more for Breeze's verse right here. I brought back one of the synths I used with it less filtered. And then I brought back a synth that was in the original song actually, and I really liked it, so I wanted to keep it on this version of the song too. Then I kept the 808 going throughout that part. Kept some of the percussion going as well. And then it breaks down into a filtered version of the pre-hook that we heard before. With that first synth coming back in. Feels like anticipation, like something's creeping up almost. And then it transitions into one last pre-hook, almost like a small bridge. I simplified the 808 a lot, and I added a filter to it too. Then I added this violin sample to kind of build up the anticipation on it. Had very light percussion going on in this part. And I also forgot to mention I had one of my block synths from the hook playing here as well. Then it cuts away. I layered his vocal sample and made a deeper one along with it. And then it goes right back into the crazy hook. Then at the end for the outro, I switched some of the synths around. I made it less complicated for the percussion, and I wanted a nice outro that kind of wrapped up the hype of the song. So that's basically it for this song. I'm super glad that it was able to come together. Like I said, this song was pretty much not going on the project. Like, I did not know what to do with it for over 2 years. Last minute, I'm like, man, I really wanted to get this song. I like the message that I'm trying to portray. I like the feeling. I like the Jaws-like feel of something building up. And I'm grateful, praise God, that it came together last second. I really locked in, like, I don't know if I've even mentioned it here, but the week before I had to submit the project to come out when I wanted it to, I canceled all my sessions for a week straight, locked in here at my home studio, locked in at QC, and put in the hard work. It was kind of last minute, but I wanted it to come together and be able to release it like in November at the time. So that's it. That's Nonesne. Miss Me With That Nonsense one more time. Make sure to check out my project and now my feature presentation volume 1. This is the 5th track on that, and I'll see y'all next time for the finale. Peace.
I think you missed your flight. Judging signs, just please don't hit my line. You are mine, I swear I'll be just fine. Just